Hi there, Eric Bakker, naturopath. Thank you for coming back to my Candida Crusher channel. I always appreciate people checking out these videos. It's for people, ultimately. I make the videos. So, the question today is sea salt good for gut health? Should you avoid salt for digestive health or for gut health in general? So, interesting question. So, I may have completed a video previously, talking about the merits of sea salt versus Himalayan salt or versus table salt. So, it's not a good idea just to consume plain supermarket table salt. I think I know a lot of people are onto it these days. They understand that, but when I started practicing many years ago, people had no idea. They thought salt was salt, so they go and buy, that standard stuff from the supermarket in those big bags or in those big plastic jars and just pour that all over their food. So that's just basically straight out sodium chloride. Now it's interesting. I've got a patient who works in a salt mine in Australia, a very large salt mine on the west coast, and I've got patients who do all kinds of stuff. But talking to this guy about how they process the salt, how they make the salt, it's crazy. The temperature, he told me, that they expose it to, like ridiculously high temperatures. They bleach it, they refine it. You're basically left with crap. That's all you're left with complete junk. It's like what they do with sugarcane. They get hold of beautiful sugarcane, they crush it, they extract the juice out of it, and they do this, and they actually boil this stuff. They get it really hot. They make syrups out of it. And they extract basically the sucrose from just the plain white refined sugar they end up with from sugarcane. Sugarcane's perfectly good for your teeth. Okay, it doesn't cause dental decay. It's interesting, isn't it? It's actually good for the gut, the juice. But when you've got plain sugar, you're going to get dental caries. You're going to get candida problems, all sorts of issues. And it's the same thing with salt. Don't buy refined salt. I'm no fan of the Himalayan salt. I'm a fan of sea salt. Okay, we're talking natural sea salt. Celtic with the C is a salt I tend to recommend and use. It's from the Atlantic Ocean, and people say, "I'm not buying that junk. It's polluted. That ocean's so toxic. I wouldn't even want to cross it. It's that toxic. So." And all this kind of stuff, but you're not going to get that kind of toxicity level with sea salt, right? You don't really get lots of toxins in the salt itself. So, and the extraction process, the sun drying this water, you're left with a beautiful pure salt. You're not left with any poisons or toxins behind. So it's interesting when you watch the videos on how they actually make sea salt, particularly in Brittany in France. So you may want to spend a bit of time on YouTube, enlightening yourself on how salt is actually made. But anyway, the question is it good for the gut? Well, there are two core reasons why it is good for the gut. The first reason probably starts in the mouth, is that amylase gets activated with salt. So if you want really good digestive health, which starts in the mouth and works all the way through, you need salt anyway. Salt, I've also discovered, activates other various receptor sites throughout the digestive system, but particularly the amylase will get affected in the mouth. So your digestion will be improved orally as amylase gets increasingly affected with sodium. Now we're not talking sodium chloride, we're talking sea salt that contains like 84 up to 100 different minerals in it. So this is really going to work for you. And once the stomach also, to make good levels of hydrochloric acid, you also need sodium to do that. I could spend an hour talking about the health benefits of salt in general, and I'm sure I've completed another video. I mean, salt helps to regulate blood pressure. It doesn't increase it. Salt improves the health of the skin. Salt improves the health of the adrenal glands. The list goes on and on. So salt also keeps your body well hydrated, all right? Now, we're not talking again about the salt that you get when you buy a Domino's pizza, because they'll be using the cheapest, shittiest salt that they can find. We're talking a sea salt. So I just, again, like to drive that point home. Sea salt, the proper sea salt is the real McCoy, all right? It's not going to increase your blood pressure. It's not going to decrease. It's going to regulate it. But because it's got potassium in it as well, it's very important for your adrenal health, all right? Because you're going to be peeing out a lot of sodium and get a lot of sodium-potassium imbalances in the body. But sodium and potassium are both contained in sea salt. That's a good point also I should bring across in this video. And therefore, it's going to aid your muscles, your nervous system, your bones, your joints, everything will get aided. But your digestion certainly gets aided by sea salt. So I highly recommend that you switch from conventional salt to sea salt. And it's another reason why junk food is not so good, because you think they're going to put a good quality salt on your pizza? I doubt it. They're going to use the cheapest crap they can find. Thanks for the question.